guys, welcome to another episode of Pots, Pans, and Priscilla. Today I have a very special guest. This is my dad, Ralph. He flew all the way in from Seattle just to do this episode.
I did.
No, he is here visiting us for a couple of weeks. He usually comes once a year, so we love when he comes to visit. He is a recently retired official chef, so he's legit. But I didn't really learn how to cook from you.
No?
We don't even have the same style of cooking, really.
No, but I think it's in the genes.
It must be. Today we're gonna have an awesome meal for you guys. My dad is vegetarian, and you've been vegetarian how long now?
Coming up on 6 years.
Okay, 6 years. So he knows what he's talking about. Then I'm gonna do a non-vegetarian version. I've been eating meat for like almost 37 years, so I kind of know what I'm talking about too.
Okay.
So I am going to make a white cheese chicken enchilada dish. And then you're making what?
Black bean and cream cheese enchiladas.
Okay. And then together we're going to have the Mexican street corn, which you guys have seen in a video before. We will link that above. And guacamole. So it should be a good time and a nice dinner. Let's go ahead and go through the ingredients for the white cheese chicken enchiladas. I bought a rotisserie chicken that I'm going to debone, regular cream cheese, green chili, Mexican cheese, chicken broth, and onion. Of course, we have our flour tortillas, flour, and some butter.
And for the vegetarian option, we're going to have some cream cheese and some cheese because this is vegetarian, not vegan. It's going to have petite diced tomatoes, some green chilies, some tomato paste, and a few herbs and spices.
So first we're going to start with, I'm deboning my chicken.
And I took the black beans and I put them into a colander and rinsed all the goo off of them. And then I'm going to put them into a pot along with the spices and some onion and garlic.
No goo. You do not want goo on your beans.
No goo beans. So I've got my beans in the pan, and we had some leftover onions from lunch, and I just put it in one of Abby's snack bowls and thought that's what I could use. So I'll add those. So I minced up, and I'm going to put about 4 cloves of garlic in it.
What are those things in your hand?
I'm not sure because they all have 1 written on them, and yet they're different sizes.
So as you guys know, I do not measure, so they got a treat. You're measuring stuff.
I tend to measure some things, and this is going to be one of those things. When you're dealing with cumin, you want to measure. So I just added 1 teaspoon of oregano and 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. I added 1 bay leaf, even though the recipe called for 2.
And you that's all you like is...
Bay leaves can be strong.
Okay. Light on the bay leaves. For mine, I do need to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. What does yours have to be on?
350.
Okay. So we have to verify. As you all know, this is not just an oven, but we hide things from Abigail in here. So we just have to check to make sure there's nothing in here. I would like you all to notice that I am pouring this into my new bowls. This is one rotisserie chicken that I cut up, and you can see it. You guys requested these bowls, so I got them.
Because there's no liquid in with my beans and my spices and onions, I'm going to take some of the juice from the tomatoes and just give it a little bit of something to work with here. We don't need a lot, we just need something to... Okay, we need something to make it happy.
I have my rotisserie chicken in here. Now I'm going to add a little bit of Mexican cheese and then the quesadilla melting cheese. It works really well in this dish. So I just crumble it, and it crumbles really easy. And then you just mix that in with your chicken and put the chicken into your tortillas. Super easy. This is an easy dish to make. This is one you could make on a weeknight. You can also make it, you can pre-make it and just save your sauce and put your sauce on when you're ready to bake it. So if you wanted to make it like on a Sunday night, put it in the fridge and then warm it up on Monday, you could do that.
I'm going to put this whole onion and the little bit left over from the beans You know, there's no wrong way to cut an onion. I don't use the goggles. So I cut each end off, and then I look for the stem and cut it straight across there. And then I peel the skin off and just push it to the side. Use the stem and put it to the back and just cut. If you cut straight down, you might have a hard time. If you just angle the knife just a little bit, you can see how well it goes through there.
He's a show off.
And then turn it, and then as soon as you cut this way, it's diced.
Look at you.
It's magic.
You guys can sign up below for Ralph's cooking classes.
You know, when I'm doing this, I hold all the slices together with my fingers, and then I have this finger on top so that I can get the size as I'm going along. When you get to the end, just tip it over and finish it up.
That's impressive. The chicken and cheese mixture that you did earlier, now you're just going to put it into a tortilla. You don't have to put the toothpicks. I don't know. It works better for me to put the toothpicks. It kind of holds it all together. That way you're not losing all your goodness. Just like that. And I will tell you at the end how many I'm making, because it just depends on how many is going to fit in this pan or this baking dish.
If you find your cutting board is moving around and you're trying to chase it, if you put a wet dishcloth underneath it, it'll stay right on spot.
So you don't have to buy one of those fancy like grip things.
No, just a wet dishcloth.
See, you guys are getting money saving tips while you watch us cook.
Also, after you get done with your garlic or fish or onion or something like that, and your hands just smell like everything you've been cooking, they sell these crazy things. They look like a stainless steel bar of soap. I don't know how, but they work. You pretend like you're washing your hands with it, and you're as good as new.
Oh, I don't have one of those. I should get one. We will leave a link for that in the description below, so you can go on Amazon and buy this.
Perhaps you could.
Yeah.
We're going to put some olive oil in a pan. The pan's already been preheating for a while. We're going to add, let's go ahead and put it all in. And then I'm going to come back with some of the garlic.
All of my enchiladas are built, and I ended up with 11, so I did another side dish. Now I'm going to start my sauce that's going to go over the top of this. Right now I'm making a roux, actually, with the butter and the flour. So I'm just going to whisk this together before I add my chicken broth. So it's 1 to 1, so 3 tablespoons of butter to 3 tablespoons of flour. Then I'm going to add 2 cups of chicken broth.
The onions and garlic have been going for about 10 minutes now, and we're going to add the rest of the ingredients for the sauce. We've got the tomatoes, the green chilies, and the tomato paste. Not going to use the whole can. Okay, we'll let that heat up a little bit.
I have my roux going, the butter, the flour, and then I added the chicken stock. Now I'm going to add green chilies. And the recipe that I was given called for sour cream, but as you all know, I never keep anything the way it's supposed to be. So I changed it to cream cheese. I don't know, I like cream cheese. And it works. You're just going to mix all of this together, and then you pour it over the top of your enchiladas and bake it.
So first we're going to put about 1/4 of our tomato mixture in the bottom of our pan. So I took a couple pieces of cream cheese, try to keep them small, put the bean mixture on top, roll it up. I should have kept my cream cheese a little colder, just to make it easier to deal with. Then we take the cream cheese and bean mixture. Roll it up and put it seam side down.
That looks good. So you don't have to use toothpicks like I do.
Hey, you know, there's not as much going on. Yours looks pretty amazing, I gotta say.
I might have to try one of those.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a big bean fan.
You've got to be. If you're going to become vegetarian, you've got to be a fan of something. Something off the norm.
You cook a lot and you use your hands a lot when you cook.
You have to.
That's what wooden spoons are for.
Well, I couldn't do this with a wooden spoon.
I know. Now you had the bay leaf in with your beans?
I did. And
Okay.
so we've pulled it out so that nobody gets a little surprise.
Gotcha. I bet Abby would like this because she loves beans.
There you go. She's a vegetarian, just doesn't know it.
And then that cream cheese melts. I bet that's
It does melt, yes.
And how long do you have to cook yours?
20-25 minutes.
Okay, same as mine.
Okay, so now they're all laying there.
Happy.
Happy. God, I didn't want to say happy, but they are. I can tell. They have smiley faces down. Then I'm going to pour the rest of the sauce over the top. Little wiggle, get it in all the extra spots. Then we just line the top with cheese, and it's ready to go in the oven.
Awesome. That was pretty easy to make too. Beautiful.
There we go.
That
I'll
looks
let
great.
you use some of my cheese.
Okay.
It's ready to go.
Thank you, Dad.
You bet.
Obviously, my sauce is different. It's a white sauce. And I'm going to pour it over the top. I've got my little mini dish over here that needs some love. It's crazy how different they look. I've got the Mexican cheese I'm just putting on top. I'm going to use the rest of yours,
Sure.
or some of it anyway. In case you guys didn't notice, this is a Mexican cheese blend. This is not the Mexican cheese that I crumbled into the chicken. But we are going to put some of that on the top of this as well. Just kind of top it off. Not a ton, just a little bit. You just crumble it right on the top. This is not in the recipe that I was given, but it makes sense. I mean, it's a Mexican dish. And then I'm going to bake this on 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes.
Well, that's going to work out well because mine also is going to be 350 for 20 to 25 minutes.
There we go. We're going to commingle in the oven. Even though we're vegetarian, non-vegetarian, we're going to mingle.
Do you think they'll all fit?
I think they will. All right, there we go. Alexa, set a timer for 25 minutes.
25 minutes, starting now.
Thank you. That's my cooking buddy. Thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode of Pots, Pans, and Priscilla. And thank you, Dad, for cooking with me. It's fun to cook with you.
It
in the
really is. It really is.
And I'm excited to try your vegetarian dish.
I bet you are.
Are you going to try mine?
You know, I've tried it in the past, and it's really amazing.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. And thank you guys for watching. As always, please hit that subscribe button, like the video, and share it. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye. And I don't know what I'm getting ready to say. And I Let me think about it a minute. Oh, it's like somebody flipped a switch on your back or something. You were just standing there, and all of a sudden you're like, "Hey, welcome again." I'm like, "Wow, where'd that come from?"